Zach Tanelli, head wrestling coach at Columbia. You have 4 qualifiers. You have a 7 seed at 174. You feeling good about that?
I'm feeling good about all my guys, man. I like where we're at psychologically and physically. We're really, we're healthy, and that's better than half the field probably right now. So I feel good about, each of these guys individually. But yeah, having a couple higher seeds is good, but doesn't really mean a whole lot once the whistle blows. So we'll see where it goes. But we are prepared and we're ready to rock.
Give us your key then. How do you stay healthy? That's what everyone wants. How have you done that this season?
I think our training, listen, our schedule, we come out of the gates really hard, and then toward the end of the season, we're still wrestling worthy opponents, but definitely lighten up the overall, brutality on our bodies. So I think allotting a lot of time for recovery, focusing on recovery, talking about recovery, and just prioritizing health overall. So I think our drilling changes. A lot of things kind of get tweaked and fine-tuned. Practices get shorter. Just a lot of little things that add up to a big thing of just prioritizing that.
You've been through this tournament. Do you think fans really understand how insanely difficult it is just to win one match, just to get through and win one match?
As respectfully as possible. I don't think fans understand a lot more than that about what it takes to be at this level, right? So, no, I will answer pretty honestly. No, I don't think they know. It's amazing, and I think even more than ever, it's like qualifying means something now. I remember back in the day, it's like, it seemed like everyone qualified, or that wasn't as much of an accomplishment as it is now. We got the best 33 guys at every single weight at this tournament, and it's a big deal. And how competitive it is in the landscape and NIL and so many different factors that are at play now. It's impressive. It's amazing. So, no, I don't think they understand it, but I don't think that's their job to understand it. So I ain't mad at them. I just think it's like they got to focus on the product on the mat, and I think that's what they get excited about, and that's what they should get excited about. So that's how it goes.
You mentioned it, NIL. How has that changed Columbia, if at all?
It's changed quite a bit. Maybe not as in a different way. It's impacted our recruiting than others. I think, kind of information, misinformation. There's a lot of stuff out there about NIL, but I guess with the Ivies and how it pertains to us is our schools, we don't have scholarships, so everything's financially based, need-based aid. So the problem is, you got a truckload of cash coming to somebody, it's going to impact their financial aid. So if they were, from a lower socioeconomic background and getting full tuition, well, now they might not be getting full tuition. So hypothetically, if schools, $50,000 and you give them, you got to give them 2-3x, to cover that scholarship now that they're gonna have to pay for school with. So I'm not doing a really good job of articulating that, but I would say it's complicated things in a different way and impacted recruiting uniquely.
Next year, it's going to be a different type of qualification. Ivies are going to have their own. How does that impact you, and maybe even how will it impact recruiting?
I think it's great. I think the Ivy League is a great product. I think as far as who we are within that league of the EIWA, it's a great league. It's the oldest league. But I think these student athletes deserve to have more focus on them. They've earned that right. They put themselves into the spotlight with programs like Cornell and us and Penn and Princeton and Harvard and and Brown. It's like we've got something to sell, and I think being able to highlight that exclusively as opposed to being a part of something bigger, I think shines an even brighter light on it. And now it's like these guys are all doing the same things together. I think it's more marketable. I think it allows us to strengthen our conference even more.
You put your team through a tough schedule. How is that going to benefit them this weekend?
Excuse me. Well, I don't think there's like the shock of wrestling a guy in the semifinals or in the first round from a Big Ten school. We went out, we wrestled Iowa, we wrestled Michigan, we wrestled Ohio State. We've wrestled guys that are gonna run deep, right? So I don't think we have the same type of shock and awe when we're wrestling a black singlet or an orange singlet. You know, we're just going out there and able to compete. We've been there. We've had good matches. We've had tight matches. We've learned a lot from those competitions. So I think that's probably where it helps us the most, is just not the familiarity, but just demystifying kind of what it means to step on the mat with certain guys, and knowing that we belong. We belong on the mat with them, and they're not like, you know, we're talking about fans before. We're not fans, man. We're athletes. We're competitors, and we're hyper competitive. So I think kind of strapping up against teams like that and knowing that we do belong on the mat with them, whether the dual meet scores got away from us or not. I think there's a lot of confidence that you can build in that, and really it's about your performance. That's always what we're focused on. So when you compete the way that we've competed and have the guts and the heart and the grit that we've got, I put us up against those guys again right now in the quarters and the semis, wherever it is.
You used to have some fun banter with Chris Ayers when he was at Princeton. Is that still going now that he's at Stanford?
I have, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I have. Listen, this is hard, man. And we're all working. We're all doing so many. We work so many hours. We work so hard. I like having fun. I think our team enjoys having fun. The passion within our program is really high and increasing year by year, from the time a guy steps on campus as a first year to when he graduates as a senior. And I think that comes from our staff and from what I'm trying to preach to them, right? This is hard, but it's worth it. And in that process, you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy that grind, that process, man, it's not as fulfilling as it could be. So, am I like that with Chris? Absolutely. I'm like that with a lot of coaches. That's kind of, this is our network. This is our community. So I want to enjoy that. And I have a lot of meaningful relationships that I know last, or exist, I should say, outside of wrestling, and will continue to exist outside of wrestling for many years whenever we're all done with this thing.
We are Wednesday before the first day of the championships. How's Zach Tanelli feeling right now?
Confident. Really good. I'm as confident, I'm as relaxed as I've ever been. You know, I'm not a real anxious guy when it comes to competition. And I think all I try to exude to my guys is the same confidence I feel internally. So I feel really, really strong about where we're at. And again, that stems from the confidence that my guys have in themselves, and knowing that we're healthy and knowing that we're prepared and we've done our job. You know, so I'm pumped up, and it's cliche, but I'm ready to watch these guys let it fly.
Can't wait. Thanks, Zach.
Appreciate you.